What is up there, guys and gals? Welcome back to my channel. It is your favorite penguin, the Penguinator, and we're about to get our geek on. And this is another installment of my Autograph Thursday until I run out of autographs to show you anyway. So in this one, I'm going to show you a few more of the autographs I've been able to get over the years at going to Comic-Cons, or I've had a friend go because they are not showing up at a Comic-Con, say, on the East Coast, but they are going to be at one on the West Coast, and I have some friends over there that they'll like, hey, if I give you the money, can you go get the autograph for me? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. And I told them, like, because I'm not reselling them, I don't care about certificate of authenticity. And these are friends I actually trust. They're not just like random people like, hey, can you go get... No, these are actually people I trust. So if you can't make it to one that some of your favorite actor, wrestler, whoever is going to be at, have somebody you trust that you know is going to be in the area. Hey, can you just go this just one day? I'll pay for your ticket, and here's the extra money. Just please go and get the autograph for me. So that way you can do that, and it actually will pay off in the end because it's really something cool to have in your collection, and people come by and they'll see it and they're like, oh cool, how'd you get that? So here is my first one I'm going to show you. And I had to look at the certificate on the back. I couldn't remember the guy's name. So anyway, this is Carl Urban, who played the remake of Judge Dredd. I really liked that Dredd movie. I thought it was pretty decent and pretty cool. I mean, it's not the best overall, but it's still a good movie. I enjoyed it. So I was able to get his autograph by a friend who, like I said, was going over. He's like, hey, here's the list of who's going to be there. Is there anybody you want? If not, I'm not going to bother going, because he didn't really care to go. But I was like, hey, I want this guy's. He's like, all right, so I'll go. So, and actually, it wasn't too bad. I think at the time it wasn't that expensive. It was like $50 for him to get into that Comic-Con. I forgot what his was. It was about the same, I think. But anyway, it's still a really cool autograph to get. All right, next up. This is someone I actually did meet in person at the Comic-Con I go to every year when I can here. This is Judith Hoag, who played the original April O'Neil from the original live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And as you can see, it says, to Matthew, which is my first name, all my love, April Hoag. So, or Judith Hoag, not April Hoag. Her name was April in the show, but Judith Hoag is her name. She was a really awesome lady to meet. I enjoyed meeting her. And she said that it was funny during, in between takes, these guys would fuss about how heavy and clunky these suits were. And they tried to make them as not as bad as they could, because they were going to have to be doing kicks and martial art moves and stuff in them. And she said, but yeah, it really drove them crazy and trying to get these things done. And it's kind of funny, like if you look at Donatello's, his is almost red, but that is Donatello right there. But yeah, you got Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donatello, and then of course April O'Neil. I really enjoyed meeting her. Great lady, nice lady. Really enjoyed it. All right, next up. This guy, you will recognize the picture, but you might not recognize the guy. And I know his last name is Berghart. I can't make out the first name, so I do apologize, but his last name is Berghart. But he did the voice of Devastator in the 1980s Transformers cartoon. And as you can see, I got this 2019. So he was really cool to meet. And I told him, I was like, Devastator is one of my favorite Decepticons. And he's like, well, let me give you my favorite phrase since you really liked it. So he said, prepare to be annihilated, Matthew, which is kind of funny. So it would have been funnier if he put prepare to be devastated. But it was still, I mean, he just, I talked to him quite a bit. And it was another one of those where if you wanted it personalized or whatever, he was charging extra, but because I was about the only guy really talking to him, nobody really cared about him. And I was like, dude, that Devastator is one of my favorite ones, so yeah, I'm getting your autograph. So yeah, he personalized it for free, and I think that was like an additional $15, so I didn't have to pay for that. But yeah, it's Arthur Burkhart, that's his name. I am so sorry, it just dawned on me what that that was. But it was really cool to meet him, really cool guy. And thing about him is he said that the way they got the Devastator voice was he did each individual Constructicon, and he did the same line over and over. So he would do, let's say, prepare to be annihilated. He would do this line in the form of Mixmaster, Scavenger, Scrapper, Scavenger, Hook, and then Bone Crusher. And did I have them backward? No, okay, yeah, that's Bone Crusher, the Bulldozer. and then they would mix them together just slightly off so it would give that kind of like an echo effect. And he said it got tired where they were going to have him and say a very long episode, and he was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. He would spend hours just re-saying the same lines in the different Constructicons. Oh, Long Haul. I forgot Long Haul. You can't really see Long Haul, but he's the truck right here. But yeah, it was really fun to talk to him, and he said that was the hardest part, was having to do each line over and over again. So it was really interesting. Next up is, now he's been in quite a lot of movies. This one, I'm not sure too many people, I don't know how many people saw and liked it. I really liked it because I like comic books, I like superheroes, and I thought they did very decent with the movie, me personally, but I was able to meet and get Billy Zane's autograph. And like I said, because I like the movie The Phantom, he was also in Titanic and a few other movies, but this is my favorite movie that he had the pictures for him to sign of, and I really enjoyed The Phantom. I thought, it's not as high action as some of the superhero movies are today, but staying true to the original material, which was nothing but like an old comic book and maybe some newspaper clippings, because it used to be a newspaper comic. I thought they did really well with the movie, and I really enjoyed it. So I really enjoyed meeting him. And he actually said that suit is very, very tiny when it's not being worn. It's like super. He said they would stretch it out to get it on him, and when he's not wearing, he said it would look like a t-shirt because it would shrink up so much on the hanger. It was kind of funny to talk and everything. But he said, yeah, he really enjoyed it. He enjoyed going to the different locations in Africa and everything to film this movie. And I thought they did a good job with it. I really enjoyed meeting him and getting his autograph. So definitely a cool guy to meet if you ever get a chance. Now, this next one, I'm sure a lot of my cult classic fans will definitely recognize the picture right away. But so this young lady, I want to say her name is Daphne Zellweger. She was the Druish princess from Spaceballs. So I got to meet the Druish princess, and she was really cool again. She says she kept waiting when the Star Wars started to come back out, and she kept waiting for the call for them to get back together to do a Spaceballs 2. And, sorry, there's something in that thing right there. I want to get it out. And she said she just never got the call. And she said Mel Brooks did actually play with the idea about doing a Spaceballs 2, but he kind of went with, with his age right now and everything, he just doesn't feel like he's got the time and energy to do it. And this was also in 2019, so that was the summer of 2019, and then of course in the fall 2019 is when COVID started to hit, and then of course everybody had to take a year off almost, even actors and actresses. So it put a damper on things, and I think a lot of them, especially the older ones in the career, decided to spend more time with their family because it really hit home that you never know what could happen. So, and I really suggest anybody that you can spend time with your family when you get a chance. So, because you're never promised tomorrow. That's all I can say about it. So anyway, I really enjoyed meeting her. It was really cool, and she told me about some of the funny stories from when they were on set. She said a lot of times, like some of the humor and jokes, is like she said one of her things, if I remember correctly, she said that she couldn't stop laughing at the characters that were supposed to be kind of like the what are they called? I think the Jawas, and they would sing that date song, and she's like, she's having to keep a straight face the whole time, but she can't because when they first saw them, they made them, just looking at them made them laugh. And so she was telling me, like, the problem in making comedies is you make each other laugh so much that you have to stop and pause until you can make an actual take of the scene. So, which I can understand. Now this next one I can definitely understand. So I cannot read his writing, but the name will be appearing right down here if you can see it. So he played Lyle in Blazing Saddles. So I got to really meet him, and actually, cool story with this guy. So, I mean, it was fun meeting him, and I actually talked to him, and I was like, I know at the time, the way the movies were and everything, it was okay. And I said, so, like, today, how are you, if anybody, like, really said anything to you about the movie, about the racist terminology that you say in the movie? And he's like, dude, he finds it funny that some of the biggest fans that come up to him and say the phrases he said, were people within the black community. He said, obviously not all of them. Some are offended now, but he said majority of them, he said, they're the ones that are the biggest fans. He said it shocked the crap out of him. I was like, oh, really? He said, yeah. So after I meet him, and I didn't have a chance to actually, I told him I would come back to get the autograph if I still had some money left over, because what I do is I budget. And since it's every year, what I do is after that year, which is how I'm able to get these autographs, by the way, I start my next paycheck after the convention. I start putting aside a certain amount of money each paycheck and don't touch it. And I just let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. And by the time I get to go back, I have well over enough money to pay for a hotel, pay for autographs, and pay for miscellaneous stuff like artwork and things, and get autographs from different comic book artists as well. So if you ever want to go to one, pick one that's about a year out if you've never been to one, and start saving up that way. Just pick out how much money you feel you might need for that, let's say $2,000. So you start setting aside, say, $50 or $100 per paycheck, and by the time it rolls around, you'll have actually not only $2,000, but you might end up having $3,000 and so on. So definitely do that to help save up for these. They're really cool people to meet, guys. Oh, the rest of the story, I do apologize. So the next morning, I'm getting ready to go to the comic book convention where it's at in the convention center, and I'm getting in the elevator, and I hear, "Hold the door, please." And it's him dressed all out as Lyle. And I'm like, "Hey, Lyle, how you doing?" And he just was like, "Oh, yeah, you coming by the booth today?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there. I've actually got one more autograph to get, and I should still have enough to get yours. So I'll be by there later." He's like, "All right, Matt, I'll see you there. Yippee-ki-yay." And he walks out, and then I go to the booth and meet him and get his autograph. And he's just a really cool guy. So if you ever get a chance, like I said, definitely go to a comic book convention if you can, where some of these people are at. And most of them that attend these are very down to earth. They just enjoy meeting their fans. They want to hear some stories about how maybe their characters affected you, or made you laugh, made you cry, whatever. Because meeting them is nothing like hearing. I mean, you can hear somebody talk about, "Oh, I got to meet this guy. Yeah, he was really cool." But until you actually go and meet them yourself and talk to them, you will never understand the enjoyment of meeting some of these people and just having some fun with them and just chatting with them. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end that video here. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And don't forget to go out there and get your geek on. And I will see you next time. Until then, this has been your favorite penguin, the Penguinator, signing off and saying adios.